We've got the Jurgys with us today, Bryce and Nellie. Welcome. Tell people who may not know about the Jurgys. I mean, you have a whole world of video content creation. You guys are explorers, travelers. Give us a little introduction about who you are and how you got into this.
We are now a family of 4. We have 2 little girls. When we were first married, a big thing we enjoyed doing together was traveling and adventuring. So we were doing that and we were living life in our current careers and decided, you know what, we need to be more intentional and go on more adventures together. So we started a YouTube channel 7 years ago that pushed us to do one adventure every week. And that led to international trips, and it grew. And our whole purpose was to motivate others to travel more as a family. And we ended up doing all 50 states in an RV over a few years. And now we're traveling still as much as we can. And then when we're not traveling, we're building a campground near the Tetons to encourage people, if they're not traveling internationally, to come visit one of the beautiful parts of America.
I would love to hear from Nellie. I mean, this had to be a mutual decision, right? Or is it kind of like, wait, we're going to do what? I mean, tell me about the origin and how that conversation came about.
It's her fault.
Oh.
Kind of. It's both of our faults.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up having a health scare, and that's what pushed us to really live life. And then we had just found out we were pregnant with our daughter Evelyn, and I don't even I can't even remember. It just happened so fast. But a month after she was born, we had bought a Class A RV, and we had renovated it within a month. And I don't know how I did that, because I just had this fresh baby, and she'd be in the bouncer while I was drilling holes anyway. And then we left on the 50 states. I don't even remember how this came to.
We did a lot of weekend warrior trips.
I think it was you.
So,
I think you were we should do all 50 states. And
the 50 states, yeah.
Sure.
But it was easier to do the 50 states. That was more of a digestible idea because of what we'd been doing years prior. So Nellie was working at a law firm. I was at a marketing creative agency. And yeah, like she mentioned, she had a health scare when I was on a shoot in LA. And I rushed home while we were waiting on results, and it kind of shook our ground. And Nellie knew that I wanted to create more content together. And so she turns to me and she's like, okay, let's start a YouTube channel where we go on adventures.
Only because he was pushing me to do a YouTube channel for years. And I was like, no, that's just not me. I don't want to do that. And then eventually
she's like, that way it'll push us to go on adventures and make memories together, because we realized life can just change like that. We didn't have any kids yet at the time. We were just budding in our careers, and all of a sudden, none of that mattered at the moment, because we didn't know what was going to happen with our future, with her specifically. And so we're like, let's just push ourselves and lock in to push us to travel more and do adventures every week.
So we quit our jobs, bought an RV, and went to all 50 states.
One of the pioneers when it came to creating YouTube channels and traveling and really documenting your journey. What were you hoping? Did you have any expectations in creating this public life for everybody to see on YouTube?
Yeah, so at the agency I was at, we had just started working with some vloggers. And so I learned that, that's a thing that people do. And we were in Utah at the time, and a lot of people were daily vlogging their life. So there was that. When we started our channel, there was some influence there with friends that we pulled from. Casey Neistat was inspiring at the time as well with his content. And I remember we wanted to reach more people. I was like, we got to reach more people with our content though. So we did some surprise videos, and one of them got 9 million views. And I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. And our channel started taking off. And I remember Nellie turned to me and she goes, that's cool, but is it making a difference in anyone's life? Are they just watching the next YouTube video and still sitting on the couch? And so this was on our way back from a road trip. And it was what should we do? So you want to get people outside more. How could we do that? And we're at a stoplight in Hurricane, Utah. And there was this green van.
It was beautiful. It was old.
So
beautiful.
Old. And as a joke, it was like, what, should we buy that van and travel the country and hide treasures? We had been talking, somehow the idea of treasures came out. It's we could hide treasures to be hey, if you find this, we'll give you something crazy. And We drove past the van and kept going, and Nelly goes, yeah, we should do that. So we turned around, got the number, called the lady, and we owned the van 2 weeks later and started doing these treasures. And we did the whole Pacific coast from Mexico to Canada. We hid treasures along the whole way, thinking it would be a really cool thing and people would go after it. And no one went looking for a treasure for 8 months, like
Oh,
nothing. And so we were like, well, we thought that was cool. And we were on a trip. We were in New York at the time and got a notification that some mom had come across our channel and traveled 4 hours to go find this treasure at night with her kids. Cause she's like, this is so cool. I'm going to take my kids. And she posted about it. And then her friend, they traveled 5 hours one way. So 10-hour round trip to find the treasure we hid in Washington.
And then another friend went and found the one in Southern California.
Yeah. And it was moldy. Like these were wooden treasure chests and it already had mold in it. And the note was like barely readable. And so then it started gaining momentum and we started partnering with brands like, hey, if someone finds this treasure, will you give a free excursion or vacation or free travel product? And started taking momentum from there.
That's why we did the 50 states, because we were like, we need to do this in all 50 states to give people the, like, you don't have to travel to Asia or Europe. Like, you can have an adventure right in your backyard. And so that's why we hit all 50 states.
Mm-hmm. We've been doing international up until then. And so, yeah.
Creators like yourself are helping brands really get the word out there and promote what their product is about. Tell me your observation and what you've seen with that shift happening from these brand manufacturers now partnering with content creators and how that creates some sort of a win-win situation.
Cool wins that we've seen are when it's a product that an influencer content creator is already using, but they need it tweaked just a little bit to fit their personal needs. And it's not like they're just random needs. These are people that are traveling a lot and they're like, I really wish that it could hold the camera this way, or this would be better and lighter this way. I don't need a bag this big. And when a brand listens to them and makes those changes and they do a collaboration promoting to both their audiences, not only does it reach more people initially, but it also shows the brand that they're in touch, they're aware, and they're listening.
And it's more authentic.
Yeah. If you trust a content creator and a brand's like, hey, we listened to their wants, it's the same thing as a brand saying, we listen and know what you want, and now we've made it for you. And so it's just a huge boost all around. When we're talking with brands, it's like, yes, but here's the reach that we're aiming for, but also what's the story that we want to share? Because that resonates deeper with the audience, and it provides a conversation to happen online that can build. And the ROI is hard to track that way, but it does reveal itself in many, many areas, and especially if you keep tabs on it. So I think if the view is that way of like, we're not just partnering with this person because they have 100,000 or 5 million followers and we're getting their email list. It's way more than that. You're now part of that cool club. You're creating a story that makes your brand more of a person versus just this random business transactional relationship. No, now you're like a friend to your customer as well.
Well, that's the way it should be anyway, between brands and the content creators. If it's not, then something's amiss.
Your involvement, what can we expect with the Jurgys at the Travel Goods Show?
Just amazing things. So great. The best.
Yeah, we're so excited to be around it with like-minded people, and even the companies that are looking to be relevant and meet all the needs, and to partner with them and meet them, and also like-minded creators. Yeah, we got some plans. It'll be worth coming to. We're going to share all the things that we've learned as well that have got us to this point, and the wins, the struggles that we've learned a lot from as well. I just think events like this are super cool because people aren't just sharing theories. They're actual experiences that they're sharing that people can take away lessons from. I'm excited for the future opportunities that are going to come from this as well. The partnerships, the products, or the experiences that are going to be made.
I think I'm excited for, all of what Bryce said, but also I feel like sometimes brands are like, oh, you're working for us. And sometimes the content creators are like, oh, no, you're working for us. And for us, we've worked with so many brands, but our whole goal is to make it a win-win. And I think we've figured that out. And so when we do have our keynote or our panel or whatever, I think that's something that we want to share with everybody is you can be a team And it can be a total win-win. And that's something I think we really want to get across to everybody. It's not just about you, and it's not just about you. You guys have to work together as a team, and there's a way to make that work.
If there are 5 pieces of travel gear that you have to have with you, what are they?
An RV.
A plane. As far as creating the content, anything that enables you to capture the moment but also be in the moment. An SSD hard drive that's rugged, that with your laptop that you can dump footage onto, that it can bounce and go around, and you can just, that way you're not limited on capturing a ton of content.
That's where his mind goes to, because he's the one that like films and edits mostly. My mind just goes instantly to children, like a hardcore kid carrier and our beer wagon. I don't know if you guys have heard about beer. Have you heard about the beer wagons? They are like top notch. They're like rugged, and they fold really easy, but they're like heavy duty.
And this is cool because you guys will be talking about traveling with children and the dynamic of what you're doing as content creators, but also as parents. Like, one thing that you're super excited about at the Travel Goods Show, what is it that you're looking forward to and wanting to see beyond just, having people at your panel?
The conversations that'll happen in between, where everyone's going to be at keynotes. Like, we got a lot of amazing travelers and content creators and incredible brands there. So I know the presentations are going to be worthwhile, and the panels, people will get ideas. I'm super excited for the in-between conversations. And I hope that everyone comes receptive of like, we're going to come up with new ideas here. And maybe some of those ideas will take a while to implement. Maybe some of them will be able to implement really quickly. One thing that I hope happens is that people get ideas of what experiences they can create together. So travel companies, they're always looking at the next trip or travel to promote their product. Maybe these relationships that are formed at the event, the companies can help create experiences that the content creators will go on. And then when the viewers see that vicariously, they're like, oh, I can have that same feeling, get that same magical view or that moment with my significant other. And it's through this brand and this product that's going to enable that to happen, or I got to have that with me. And just all the win-win ideas in those conversations that'll come. I'm excited for that.
There's one travel related piece of wisdom that you can impart. What would it be?
Know what your win is before the trip. Sometimes, especially traveling as a family, you get so focused on the end. Like, oh, I saw that Instagram photo. I want to go to get that same view that this person showed at this golden hour. And you miss all the moments in between. So with the people you're traveling with, find out what everyone's win is, because every trip, things go haywire. Something goes wrong, even if it's just a little flight delayed. But if you know what everyone's hope is and win to get out of it, you can help achieve that and then be more present besides those moments, because you're like, oh, we already hit the win, or we're going to hit their win. Now let's just enjoy this moment a little bit better. That's what has helped us, where we're like, okay, on this trip in this location, what do you want to experience? And then we can help facilitate everyone in the party to have that win.
How can people locate you? So outside of the show, how can people find you and connect?
Yeah, anywhere on any social media, the Jurgys. So the, and then Jurgys. And we'll be sharing about our experiences at the show as well. Hope to see people there.
It's been awesome. We look forward to seeing you at the show. And if there's anything we can do for you and your family to make it even a better show, just let us know. But we will look forward to seeing you in March.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for setting all this up.